Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. Reiki with Anna. For today's video, we are going to be having a little chat about the new moon. We're going to be talking about some new moon rituals that I personally practice. I am a Reiki Master. I am not an astrologer, but I do really love working with the stars, the moon, things outside of Mama Earth and inside as well. But these are just some little very basic things that I've had questions about and that I wanted to share. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to be probably doing some, movement through your etheric field just because that feels nice right now. But I absolutely love the new moon. I think it's probably the ritual that I participate in and practice the most consistently is my new moon ritual. I almost always do full moon cleansings and clearings and charging of crystals and things like that. But new moons, I feel like there's something really magical to me about the darkness, and I've always kind of been drawn to that side of things, just to kind of investigating it, seeing what's happening. I love the idea of new beginnings and fresh starts, and how the darkness could just be that you're a seed planted deep within the earth, and if you push through, you can see the light. One thing is that I love doing manifestations on the new moon. I love writing down my kind of deepest desires, and we've spoken about this here before, but from my perspective, manifestation can be used as a really helpful tool for me to hone in on the things that I want so that I can brush away things I don't want. So it can be used as a tool or an exercise, or just familiarizing yourself with that, with your soul's desires, your heart's desires, your soul's purpose. And in that way, kind of moving with intention through the world, through your thoughts, through your actions, all of that, through your words. And I feel like it's a nice opportunity and reminder during the new moon for me to sit down and tap into that side. So I like to write it down, and I will write it down, and then depending on what that specific manifestation might be, I will either fold it up and put it underneath a grid, underneath a crystal, and then make a grid for like that month's manifestations, or I will plant it in the ground, bury it in the earth. If you don't have access to that, you could just keep it in a notebook or keep it on your computer, or just sort of sit and ruminate on it. Kind of keep it in the mental plane. Maybe speak it out loud so that it can have some movement, put it out into the universe. Just to kind of call in a bit of that trust, saying, all right, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want to attract. This is what I'm asking for. This is, honing in and focusing. Other things that I like to do during the new moon are to kind of look at new perspectives. So I like to take something that maybe throughout the previous month or season or 6 months or whatever it might have been, year, and turn it over and flip it over and just sort of ruminate in that way on things. Okay, I've been looking at it like this. Let's see if I change it, like turn it a little bit this way or shift it that way. How can I see things a little bit differently? Just shifting focus, shifting perspective. I think that can be really helpful, particularly for connecting with others and understanding others, and in so doing, understanding ourselves a little bit better. And I think that's particularly helpful when that thing that we might have been very, moving from a place of assurance is very connected to our emotional selves. So maybe we've really tapped into our sense of kind of anchoring or tethering that to the ground as like a truth, capital T. And so kind of looking at that, and I think that takes a lot of, I was going to say courage, that sounds big-headed, but I do think it takes a decent amount of courage to be able to look at things from a different perspective and kind of maybe pull up that anchor and see, like, do I need it to be there? Can I put it somewhere else? It can move, it's just a little heavy, I hope that makes sense without giving any specific examples. If you have any examples, I'd love to hear them down below, if you know what I mean by that. I think another thing that I like to practice during the new moon is that's when I'll do a lot of tarot and oracle cards and Lenormand, all my kind of divination tools I like to do during the new moon. I love to do, as far as Reiki goes, kind of deep meditations that involve, I'll do like a crystal grid on my body. And then I like to sort of tap into like deep desires and all that kind of stuff. And usually I like to tie it in with what season we're in. So, the new moon in Capricorn, to focus more on kind of money and career and success and organization, that kind of thing. Scorpio, more kind of deep emotions, dark. I'm a Scorpio, so I don't think I've ever said that here. So that kind of looking at things from the different perspectives, I think is feels like a Scorpio thing to do, like looking at the dark kind of underbelly. So moving through the emotional side of things in Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, I think. Yeah, so anyway, those are just a few different things that I kind of like to do. think new moon rituals can be really empowering. I think it's a beautiful thing to feel like you're connected to something outside of just your day, the, banalities of modern life. Just that sort of sheen of, the kind of gray. And to sort of look beyond that into the stars, into the sky, feel connected to things that are outside of this little, low-ceilinged life that we can sometimes, that was the chair, I promise, find ourselves stuck in. How do I make this car payment, or how do I deal with this annoying coworker, or whatever that might be, and sort of pull through that and tap into something beyond. Can help us feel connected not only to the moon, to the stars, to the celestial Father, but also to each other, that we are all here underneath this beautiful heavenly sky, and we're all moving through it, and connecting to those more kind of esoteric individuals, or those individuals more interested in the esoteric side of things, rather, who are maybe practicing the same things, tapping into the same things, just recognizing that tonight probably I'm doing this along with my sisterhood, my brotherhood, with brotherhood of man, everybody out there. So those are just some different things that I like to practice. Yoga is another great one that I like to practice. Particularly, I like to do it after the sun sets, and I'll turn on some little Himalayan sea salt lamps and have a really beautiful kind of light and energy in the room, and then do a little bit of movement, create some flow, get myself nice and open for this fresh start, new beginnings. So this particular new moon focuses on rebirth, new beginnings, which is great for a new moon. It's great for healing, for evolution. It's a really big aspect of this particular new moon. And I think that's a beautiful word. It's a beautiful time for evolution, personally, globally, energetically. So the next video that we're going to be doing is a Reiki session for this new moon energy. So it's going to be a lot about evolution, about new beginnings, about kind of transformation and support during that transformation, and rebuilding, reorganizing, restructuring. So earlier this month, things might have been a little bit cloudy, and now we've pierced through that. We're moving from a place of strength, and we're starting to see the light, and it's a beautiful time. So, yeah, I look forward to that, and I'm sending you all a big, big hug. So much love and support. Thank you for being here, for subscribing, all of that. And happy new moon in a few days. It's going to be a few days from now, so